Greetings, welcome to the channel. Uh, you're watching Seeking Dominicus, and here's another tale that I have to share with y'all. Um, it was November of 2019, the last supermoon of the year. Um, we had an experience. Well, before I go any further, um, this is not to promote any drugs or anything like that. It's not recommended for children under 18. Um, and I don't encourage drugs. Anyways, so um, November's November supermoon of last year, we had a ceremonial trip with mushrooms, psilocybin mushrooms, to be exact. And everyone had like maybe 2 or 4 grams of their liking, and me on my end, I ended up having 12 grams on me, and I ate them. And once the once the trip began, I ended up seeing I ended up seeing, I guess you could say, the atmosphere, the outer atmosphere, or you could say the firmament, the dome, whatever your beliefs are on that. Um, so I looked beyond that, and I don't know if anybody is into Marvel or any of that stuff, but I ended up seeing two beings that ended up looking like Galactus. And I don't know. I would like to call them the Watchers, because they were just standing there, just like looking at me, look at them, you know? It was just wild. So there was that. And then um, my friend was tripping so hard, I had to calm her down, give her some of the ganja. So um, there was that, and everybody was just like, on their own vibe. And um, there was a moment where um, my friend said that I had channeled their brother that had committed suicide. Um, Not sure how long ago, but that blew my mind that I had channeled that person, and that I had freedom from. There's like a certain, you know, world that, the in between world where, you got the here, and then you got the afterworld, or other dimensions. So apparently I freed him from that because he was trapped. And so I was blown away by that. And there was a time where I played Tool, and throughout the yard I ended up seeing eyes all over, just like as if, like, the whole yard, like these eyes just like started looking like at us. It was like as if everything had came to, or everything was living. So I was just like, whoa. And so that happened. And then there's this plane, like this military craft, that flew by, and I thought it was a little weird because usually um, it just seemed to me like they were trying to see what was going on. So they made an excuse to fly over and see what was going on. So really, they just used satellites to pick up energy waves and all that. So of course there was like maybe almost 8 of us or something like that. And so of course everybody tripping. Of course the energy waves are going to be pretty pretty big. So, anyways, later on that night, there was a time I had these beads. They were like, they went around my hand. They weren't connected or anything. So I just had them there laying. And then all of a sudden, because I was trying to play with them anyway, like trying to make them go around and whatnot, just like playing with it. And there was a point where it was just like spinning around my wrist and like ended up like twirling through my hand and shit like that. It was just fascinating. There were like citrine beads, and and then I had this. I had it wasn't a selenite. Anyways, I had this big ass crystal, and I just stared at it like real hard, like just trying to like open its value with my third eye, just staring at it. So I was staring at it really hard, and I noticed that each edge, there was like certain points of that crystal where it was like lighting up on each edge. It was so fascinating. And then there was a moment where during there's a time where I was just meditating. Well, I was tripping hard, so for me to myself down was to meditate. So I was meditating for several minutes. I began to hum during the meditation, and I just noticed that like I just became one. It was a beautiful feeling, like as if my third eye had opened and my heart chakra had opened, and it was just beautiful. I saw sacred geometry, saw a bunch of colors during that meditation, and I saw a bunch of shapes. It was beautiful. Um, Even hieroglyphs at times. And then there came another point where um, I guess we were doing chants or mantras, whatever you want to call it. And I was just doing this little back and forth, this movement like a wave. And then, so we were doing this ceremonial fire as well with the trip. And so we were surrounding the bonfire, but I was the one doing all these movements and doing all this and that shit with the fire. And I kid you not, while I was doing those movements, I noticed the fucking fire was just moving along with me. It was just so beautiful and fascinating. Like, it's just one of those things you have to be there to experience and see for yourself, because, just not everybody's gonna believe unless they're there. So, um, yeah, and then later on that day, it just started getting too cold for me, so I just came inside and was still on it, still tripping and whatnot, and we just started talking, like, amongst ourselves, like what we were experiencing, what happened, and all this and that. It was just a beautiful feeling. But yeah, that was one of my second hardest trip, of doing 12 grams of mushrooms. um, I don't really recommend um, those, that much if you're able to um, handle like your demons, if you're able to face your demons and all that stuff, because it's not a joke for anyone that is not into hallucinations and whatnot. So um, yeah, definitely recommend each and every one of y'all being safe if y'all partake of any of that stuff. Um, just be safe, be aware of your surroundings always, and take care of yourselves. Dominicus, over and out. Love you guys.